Hi, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode. Happy Monday, if there is such a thing as a happy Monday. Um, Today we have a fun episode for you guys. We are going to be breaking down Petit Le Mans and seeing if our predictions were right or wrong, as well as talking about the NHRA countdown so far, since we are halfway through. But we're going to do those, in two separate ones like we do. I think obviously the first thing I'm going to do is welcome in my co-host. Hi, Emu.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Tired.
Same. Um, this is a little bit different from the last time we did a predictions episode because you don't know everything this time.
True.
So it's a little bit like for both of us. I mean, obviously, like I don't fully remember like where both of us like our picks where they finish. So it's going to be like a little bit of a thing for both of us, but I do know one thing. um, I want to say to you guys that the last time we did this, because she was closer than I was, she just got 1 point, so she's up 1-0 in our predictions thing. But we never like gave a breakdown for how that works because we didn't decide until like 2 days ago.
True.
So if we are dead on the money, 2 points, and then if you are closer, 1 point. And that's how it's gonna work. Normally I feel like we would watch highlights, and I kind of wanted to do that, but I also wanted to put this on YouTube. So there's that. And I didn't want to have to do a whole bunch of editing because the highlights for a 10-hour race like Petit Le Mans are at least like 30 minutes long. And that's a lot of editing.
True. Very true.
Yeah, I do want to talk about it just like a little bit because in any sort of endurance racing, there's gonna be drama, there's gonna be chaos. And a lot of that came in the last hour, as it does. And I am just like, when you get rid of or say goodbye to an era in sports car racing, you want it to kind of like go out with a bang. And they absolutely did that. Like this, like it being the end of the DPI era, they could not have finished in a more spectacular way. It was just heartbreak and intrigue and just all the things. So I'm going to share my screen so we can look at results, and then I'll like, story tell once we have that. Okay. So, first things first, it was really hard for me not to like finish that in the way that my brain wanted me to. I feel like for the last like 3 or 4 years coming into Petit Le Mans, Wayne Taylor Racing has been in the position of they need to win to clinch the championship. And they have finished second every single time. And you know what happened this year? They came in, they needed to win, and they finished second. But it wasn't like, honestly, like it was so heartbreaking because they've had nothing but heartbreak at Petit Le Mans the past couple years. And it makes me so sad seeing Wayne's face. He was just in the pit like this. And then like he was doing his like sad little like walk on the pit wall, like shaking hands with the team afterwards. I was like, oh no. When are they gonna be victorious? But it was quite dramatic because it was the only ones that could win were them or the 60. And for either one of them to win the championship, they needed, to win the race. There was a bit of drama because the 1 and the 2, the Chip Ganassi cars, they were battling for position as well. But what they did is they broke the cardinal rule in any sort of racing, which is don't crash out your teammate. Like honestly, the thing once like Twitter recovered for a second because we were all like, what the hell? Like, freaking out. Like, racing Twitter was collectively losing their shit. And when we got a minute to recover, I think the first thing most of us thought was, oh, Chip's gonna be mad. And kind of the statement, at least like what Ranger said, was he was like, oh, Chip said we're gonna reevaluate and talk about it and decide what happens going forward, which is like, ooh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's kind of what you expect after that, but it's not good. So they crashed each other out. Caution comes out, which this is all bad for the 10. And then they get into it with was it a GT car? Or they got into it with another car and it bent the toe link, which knocked them out with like 10 minutes to go. They had to come in and pit, and that was it. The 60, they were the champions. It was so sad. Like, obviously I'm super thrilled for Meyershank Racing and the whole team, but it's become like Heartbreak Central for Wayne Taylor Racing, and I'm just like, oh, like, you want them to get it. Like, they do so well the entire year, and they're like, yes, we're gonna win. This is our year. And then it doesn't happen.
It's not.
It's like 4 years in a row.
One of these days.
They will get it. They absolutely will. But it was just a little sad moment. Okay. So, not great for either of us. I picked the 10 and you picked the 2. Which you can see are the last 2
right
down here.
There. Wow.
Yeah. But that is 1 point to you.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I do this every time. I can't write on here because it moves everything. One point to you.
Oh.
Mm.
That is so loud, Kira.
What?
Thank you for the follow.
Oh.
It was
yeah.
so loud. It hurt my ears.
I definitely turned that down, but apparently not enough.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what happened because I turned it down and I listened to it. I listened back to it and it was totally fine. But I think Streamlabs just decided not to accept my changes because, yeah.
My heart is just...
my volume was like all the way down, but I still heard it and it was still very loud.
Well, thank you for the follow and scaring
Thanks
me.
for the follow. We appreciate that. And for jump scaring Emu.
It's great. I loved it.
I absolutely turned that down, so I don't know why it was so loud.
Yeah, it's whatever. We can figure it out later. Hopefully
we can.
It's one of those weird things where I'm like, hopefully someone doesn't follow in the meantime, but like you always, want people to follow, but at the same time,
yeah.
I don't want to get scared again.
Yeah, Streamlabs really did say, you want to hear? No. Yeah, we will have a look through that because I don't want to deafen you or any of our followers.
Casually deafens everyone. It's fine. It's fine. That's how it would be at the racetrack. It's fine.
It would be, except you're prepared for it there.
That's true.
Okay. Just unfollow and refollow.
No, don't follow again. No.
Okay.
So now we're tied again at 2 points each. Only because I know.
No, I haven't given myself those points yet.
That's true. You've told me about 2 of your points.
Yeah. Well, if you came here for chaos, then you picked the right spot.
That is very true. Although usually we're the ones creating the chaos, not
we are.
The viewers.
It's not usually brought upon us.
We're not prepared for the outside chaos.
No. Okay. LMP2s. So that's the top 3, 4. I'm just looking.
I feel like the big thing for me is I
1.
also just don't remember who I guessed. So until you tell me, I I can't even be like, oh, I think I got this many points.
Okay, so you picked the 20 who
Oh, I see
finished
there. Fourth.
right here. I picked the 52. Why did I pick the 52? Who drives that car? What is this? You can see our knowledge of LMPs is not high.
Well, my knowledge of all of them is not very high, so to be fair.
Oh, oh,
There you go. 6.
oh my God. Okay, that was the most heartbreaking thing for me. Because I picked the 52 because Ben Keating is one of the drivers, and I love him. He's fabulous. He drives everything. A lot of times at endurance races, he'll race in 2 classes because he's just a madman. But what happened is he ended up wrapped up in the tire barrier. And I was so sad for him. And then I realized afterwards, I was like, oh, I think I picked him.
You did. You did pick him.
Because he was leading before that. And I was very confident because I'm like, he's the best. He has a really strong team. Let's go. Then that happened.
It's fine.
And I am sad about it because I hate that for him. Because he was mad when he got out of the car. They're like, oh my God, are you okay? And then he's just like, He kind of like put his hands up to the safety guys. And
he said, don't talk to me.
No. It's like, no, I need a minute. He also, the way it was, the car was wrapped up in the tires, for him to get out, he had to get out and then climb over some tires, and he fell into one. Which is not great when you're mad.
Just to rub it in a little bit more, make him just
a little
bit more bitter. So that's looking like another point for me.
That is looking like another point for you. Well, we appreciate you just saying screw it and joining. Ash is great, and she has a great Discord. Yeah, he was very angry. Makes sense. You're leading, and then all of a sudden you're not.
It's justified.
It is. LMP3s. You picked the 13, and I picked the 74.
I see them both.
74. 13. I get a point.
Whoa.
Okay, GTD Pro. You picked the 25, and I picked the 3.
What one did I pick?
25.
I did so good. I don't even know why I picked it. I don't remember.
You picked it because it was dead last on the list. You wanted to be spicy.
Sounds about right for me.
Yeah. The Corvette was actually doing pretty well for a while. They were running second or third, but they had a pretty big contact with the 9, which led to both of them having tires go down, and they both had to pit, and that kind of put them off their sequence, and then they got spun by somebody else within the last hour. So that really kind of killed all of their chances.
Yeah. I was so close.
Well, what actually happened, there was a wee bit of drama within the GTD Pro class.
Oh.
The Ferrari, the Risi Competizione Ferrari, they finished first in class, and then they got it taken away because of a drive time infraction.
I remember you mumbling something about this the other night.
Yeah. So, yeah. It
That's
went
unfortunate.
to the 14, which it was nice to see just Lexus as a whole get a win because their other car, their sister car, the 12, got taken out by the Mustang sampling the number 5 um, DPI, and it was nasty.
Yeah.
Like the front of their car was gone.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was a bad move and a bad time, and it was just, you hate to see it. It was one of those things, but obviously they have like a ton of, like, the safety and the technology is really like top tier now, so both drivers were able to walk away completely fine, but it was a bad time.
Exactly. No bumper needed, just four wheels.
So true.
It's like me when I talk
So
about
true,
my
bestie.
car. When I talk about my car and I say, I don't care if it's got dings or scratches like some people do. As long as it's got four wheels and it takes me where I need to go, it's good.
I am so the opposite of that.
I know you are.
Like, okay, I'm not even kidding you. Like a month ago, someone let their cart at the grocery store hit my back bumper on my truck and it left a scratch. Oh, still fuming. Still mad.
The car is fine. It'll still run normally with a little
But
scratch.
I know it's there, and it's the principal thing. Like, it's also because I am like so careful about those things. I just, I don't like leave my cart in places, but people leave that shit anywhere. Like, have a little respect. I also worked at a grocery store for a short time, so PTSD. All right, GTD. Let's talk about that. This was my spicy pick. I said, I'm going to pick the 66 just because they need a win this year. They've had terrible, terrible luck in endurance races, and I want them to get one. To be fair, when I said that I was A, being spicy, B, thought something else was happening with driver lineup, and C, I'm not going to even say that I relied on like my like race car driver instincts because I absolutely didn't. I was just like, I want this to happen, so I'm picking them. But then you know what? It fucking happened. They fucking won. Overall GTD winners. Like, I was sitting there like this, like, oh my God, like they're gonna win. And I couldn't even believe it. Like, not like because they're bad or anything, but because I was like, oh my God, my spicy pick. Like, how is this happening?
Apparently, both of our spicy picks actually did well considering.
It did. But yeah, it's just everything came together. And it was really like a Cinderella story because it was like a turbo or a wastegate issue, and they didn't get to qualify. So they started dead last, back of the pack, and made their way to the front. They had incredible pit stops, great driver changes, and they were just really strong. Like Mario Farnbacher, literally they call him Super Mario. He actually is. Like, he's insane. And I had kind of said earlier in the year, because there are a couple teams that have young kids that were making mistakes. As young kids do, this is the highest level of racing, and these kids are just not prepared for that. I had kind of said that any of those teams, I felt like maybe they should spend time investing in like a really good driver coach, or maybe have them not be a primary driver. But and we also talked about like a minimum age requirement to join this level of racing, which I still agree with.
Yeah.
But the 66 did that day, and like, yes, they had their issues, but they really leaned into the driver coach thing, which obviously paid off because their young driver did really well. All of the drivers did really well. Till Kiffin, fantastic job. Yes, there were 2 Aston Martins competing with the Heart of Racing Team Seattle, the 23 and the 27. The 23 with Roman DeAngelis and Maxime Martin and Ian James, they were able to finish high enough. Let's see, where are they? This is their second car. The 27's right here. They finished high enough, and Stephen McAleer had slight issues to where they were able to. He had enough points to clinch the championship for them. Very exciting. You'll love to see it.
Ooh.
Because this was like historic for Aston Martin. I wrote an article about it over on Shifting Lanes. It's on the front page today. Very proud of that. The Aston Martin, like the Vantage team, they've never won like a major championship like that in the States. So it was huge. Yeah, let me do this. All of my written things are over there. Sometimes it's just easier that way.
Fair.
But yeah, that was really exciting. And obviously, being from the same place, yeah, motorsports journalist. I was with Drive Tribe for a few years when they were active and operating, and now I'm over in Shifting Lanes, and I do this.
I don't.
Yeah, Emu doesn't.
Nope.
That's why we're unlikely. She's very far removed from the world of motorsports.
This is correct.
Mm-hmm.
I have many more spicier
her.
opinions.
That's why it works. It's going to be great. We're going to do an F1 Fantasy League next year.
Yes.
And it's going to be incredible.
I can't wait.
It's going to be so good.
I'm so excited.
We really have to, like, come up with a good name for it.
I'm so on board. I got team name. Well, yeah, because I think that was a thing too. Like, right, if you did a private one, you came up with like your. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I have so many ideas.
I cannot wait.
Don't worry, I'll bring multiple in case you don't like some of them. It's usually inevitable that at least one or two of my ideas get vetoed immediately.
It's true, that does happen.
But I suggest them knowing that, so.
You do. You come prepared. Well, see, here's the thing. I kind of grew up watching F1 a little bit. It was not the main motorsport that I watched, and I think now, just because everyone covers F1 and it's like not my favorite, and it's not really aired in the States at convenient times. I don't really watch it as much or talk about it as much. We only really ever talk about it in like little cases on the show. But we decided we're doing this. We talk about it like enough between us off stream to where we decided it would be like a fun thing to do. Because neither of us are super duper like serious and into it. Like, I know what's going on. I see the drama. Like, I can tell you who everybody is. But I'm not like getting up at 5 a.m. to watch all the races.
It's the one I know the most drivers from.
It is, actually.
Mostly from watching memes online.
Yeah. We watch a lot of F1 videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm trying to get us into, for next season, just because of my own like personal thing, I'm trying to get us into covering more hydroplane racing, just because it's so random and I feel like the entire world needs to watch it. It's so fun. Okay, so let's tally some things.
I think we're tied.
We each came out with 3 points.
Nice.
Yeah. Where's my second sticky note? Many sticky notes in the prediction game.
So many.
So many. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's my reminder to cancel Peacock. I got it so I could watch this race, and I don't need it. Because you had your 1 point from
last time
IndyCar.
Yep.
You will have a 4-3 lead right now.
Yes, I'm still winning.
You are still winning. Let me get rid of that. Honestly, who would have thought the desert was a bad location for boats? I mean,
crazy thought. Sand boats.
I've seen Stranger Things.
The show?
Oh, I still... No. Well, yes, but... I couldn't get into it, okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I did just finish watching, though? I'm going to shamelessly plug something since we're talking about Netflix. Everyone go watch season 3 of The Floor is Lava. I have mutual friends with Rutledge Wood. He's hilarious. It's such a fun show. I would love to compete. Like, it seems like the most fun. Basically, giant, like, it's a giant obstacle course for adults.
Yeah.
That's, like, the best thing ever.
Yeah. They've had lots of shows like that over the years. They're always quite enjoyable to watch and make fun of the people as they fail.
A lot of people on the show hit their faces on things, and I'm always good. Like...
That's amazing.
But it's a little bit like, ooh, glad it's not me. But I think it'd be so fun. I feel like in my head I have like groups of people, because they're teams of 3. I have groups of people that I would like to do it with, but I think one of like my top 2, like the most fuckery would happen would be if you and I did it with one of our other friends.
Oh no, we would fail.
All we would need is one of us to get out.
So you, because the rest of us are not athletically inclined.
Stranger things have happened.
I have decent balance, though. I will say that.
Oh, that's good. Balance is good. Yeah, Rutledge hosts it, and he brings a lot to it. I think it would be fun.
I also think it would be fun. I'm just saying I would not win.
Wins prediction game, can't win Floor's Lava.
Sometimes I'm good with luck, you know? But sure. I feel like something like that, sure, maybe luck plays a little bit part of it, but it's more skill. Balance.
I mean, I feel like
athleticism.
It obviously is like that type of thing too, but it's also like everything is so slippery, so you could be like the most like athletic person in the world, but if you got lava under your shoe and you go to like slip and you fall face first, like that's it.
True.
Lava is a cruel mistress. So yeah, you are currently enjoying a 4-3 lead.
Yeah. Wait, we also haven't discussed who wins what's prize for winning. Did we? I don't remember.
We said something. We originally just said bragging rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna quit my job if I lose.
That's true. I take over.
Honestly, give you my login information. You can
get to write an article
for me.
I just write an article. I get your login for a day and write an article. No, that would be a bad idea. Clearly, I know everything about racing because I won our silly little guessing game.
Honestly, that's why in this type of thing, anyone can win because motorsports is so freaking unpredictable.
True.
Can you imagine if that was our prize for this? Just one of us shoves the other in lava.
Sounds a little deadly, but you know, it's fine.
TV show lava.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. TV show lava. Got it.
Yeah, you definitely didn't think go down to Hawaii
No.
and push each other in a volcano.
Well, we can't do that. I don't like big boats and I don't like planes, and you need to use at least one of
Are
those to
we
get to
ever
Hawaii.
gonna go on we're never gonna go on a tropical vacation, are we, with our friend group?
Technically you can get tropical places that you don't have to fly or boat. Or
I'm
if you
not
do
driving 900 hours to Florida.
I also don't want to go to Florida.
Where's the tropical place that you want to drive to?
It's not that I want to drive to it. I'm just saying you
That
could
you
drive
would.
to it. Oh.
Okay.
Nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. There's nowhere tropical that you can drive to.
I'm okay with small boats, but usually small boats don't do as hot on long distance vast
yeah, and it takes
ocean.
you a really long time to get there.
Exactly. But I don't trust cruises either. That's where people get
Oh,
murdered.
No. I don't like cruises because you could fall off, you could get murdered, you can get norovirus.
Exactly. Don't trust.
And there's so many people in just you can't get away from them. There's just so many people.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with little charter fishing boats though. Those are fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, they're not too far.
You want to go to Florida and then boat to the Bahamas?
Not right now.
Well, I mean, obviously. Hurricanes.
Yeah, hurricane season is still in
full outside effect. Of hurricane season.
In spring.
So yeah. I think I'm trying to even think final thoughts on this IMSA season. So much happened. So much, and you really can't predict any of it. But that makes it so fun, and it's all the emotions. And like I've said before, just that last hour, especially of that race, really reminded me that we really couldn't do live commentary on races because my fan side takes over. And I'm just yelling about everything. I've seen there are pictures and videos going around right now on Twitter because today is the first day of IMSA sanctioned GTP testing. So we're seeing the new cars on the track, and I think it's so cool because this new era I think is going to be really, really good. I'm excited. I think, like I said, I think the Acura is still my favorite looking, but I want to see them all together on track at the same time. But yeah, there's going to be driver announcements just throughout the series in the off season, team things. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens, and in 108 days we start for Daytona. That's the official countdown. It was on the IMSA website.
They said, we're already starting.
Gotta start the countdown. Yeah, Daytona is always one of my favorites. I do, I've said, I love an endurance race. And 24-hour endurance races are a completely different beast. So yeah. Emu, final thoughts on your first season? Ow.
They race too long. That's my...
Yeah, this is the thing. Emu doesn't like endurance racing, and it kills me.
And they do a lot of endurance racing, and I don't like that.
They do a couple.
I don't like it.
One of these years, I'm going to trick you into coming to Le Mans with me in France, and we're going to do the 24 hours, and you're not going to know anything, and it's going to be hilarious, and we're going to stream the whole thing.
Okay, but here's the thing. I feel like the first red flag immediately would be like, hey, you want to go to France? Just saying, that would be kind of a big red flag.
You would be like, hey, you want to go to France? We'd be like, hey, you want to go on special assignment with me?
And you don't think I would immediately ask, what is it?
I mean, I haven't thought it all out, but who doesn't want to go on a girls' trip to Paris? We can eat all the pastries.
Yes, I like that part.
Yeah.
I'll just bring my Switch and play games when I get bored.
I feel like everyone, it's like honestly one of my bucket list things to do. Everyone has to experience Le Mans at some point. I've wanted to go since I was, 10 years old.
Yes, drive to France.
Yeah, I don't know about the whole driving through Russia thing.
Yeah, that might not got too hot. Not as of recent.
It's kind of a hot area right now.
Yeah, maybe. Well, how long do we have until that next one?
June?
Well, I mean, I would hope things are done by then because I would hope they were already done and they aren't, but maybe.
Yeah, you never know. Defensive driving, exactly.
I'm a very defensive driver.
Yeah, that's one of the main things, because my dad taught me how to drive. That's one of the main things that he hit on, was being a good defensive driver. And I appreciate it every day, because people really do be not knowing how to drive out there.
It's very true. You just constantly have to assume that everyone is an idiot and trying to hit you, and then you'll be fine.
Yes. That's exactly it. You have to drive for yourself, but also you're driving for everyone else.
Exactly, because you can't trust them.
No. As everyone who listened to our podcast from Friday at the end, when I told a story about my high school friend who almost killed everyone, including me.
Yeah.
You can't assume that people know what they're doing.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think. Oh.
I don't know what that was. But I did not just send something. It just really it loaded.
I was gonna say I saw that.
I simply opened my phone and it decided to send something, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
So yeah, I think how long have we been going on this one?
42.
Oh, longer than I thought. Yeah, I think that wraps it up for this one. We're going to jump in to the next one in a few minutes and start into drag racing. But I want to thank each and every one of you for following along with us this IMSA season. Our first ever episode that we did in this format was, I think it was when we talked about Sebring. That was like the first thing we covered.
Oh my.
And now we're like at the end of the year. I feel like it just flew by.
Yeah, honestly, it did. It's already October, fall season, baby. No!
Yes, absolutely refollow when the next episode starts.
No! I will quit. I will quit this podcast. If Kira doesn't get her shit together and fix how loud that alert is, I'm quitting on the spot.
I will absolutely fix it after the show. Even though I fixed it the first time already, and Streamlabs just decided, fuck your fixes.
Sounds about right.
I don't know why I did that. I also think that I didn't know about it until now, because all of our other follows since have been off-stream follows.
True.
So I've really had no way of like knowing, but yeah. Because I turned it down and I listened to it the first time and I was like, oh, this is fine. I bet you if I go in and look, it's going to be
not fine.
Turned back up. So yeah, we are going to wrap it up here. If anything noteworthy happens in the off season, we will let you know together, or I will come on and let you know. I will probably be talking about whatever it is over on Shifting Lanes as well. And we will see you for more IMSA coverage in January
With
with Daytona. Bye, guys.
Daytona. Bye.